Hi everyone, it's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So welcome to my Now What series. This is where I go every Thursday night at 6:30 Pacific time, and I share with you something that you may have missed in the catalog, or it might be something that you do have in your stamping space. And what I'd like to do is show you, what do you do with it now? You've got it and you liked it, but why do you have it? Anyways, if this is one of your first times joining me, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure that you get onto my page, my group, Stamping with Diane Stampers, and that those links are down below. And the reason being for that is you'll get notified immediately as soon as I upload a new video. So hello. Oh my goodness. Hello, Lorraine. You would be happy to see what I'm working with tonight. I know you will be. In any event, tonight, when I saw this stamp set, I loved it. So let me just jump on down to the desktop here. This Picturesque stamp set. I like these kind of stamp sets that work together and you can create scenes with it and everything else. And what a perfect time to actually show you how to use it, because I think it coordinates so well with this new or with this designer series paper. And I'll show you, it's called Enjoy the Journey. And this is a new celebration item that's just been added as of yesterday, actually. So it's really kind of a neat stamp set, or a neat designer series paper, and it goes along great with the dies and the other stamp set that goes with it. So I'll just show you some of these ones. This would make beautiful, like I can see doing scrapbook pages with this. This is pretty cool on the back. I really like this one with all the trees. And then, of course, this on the back. This one, too, I think is pretty cool. And I'll show you how that works. Imagine this. This kind of reminds me of over in Hawaii sort of things, where the mountains actually do look pink over there. And then we've got these ones. I love this one. And of course, this one that looks like sunsets and sunrises as well. And then that as well. Hello, 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 Pam, and hello, Margaret. So, like I say, I think it goes really, really well with this stamp set. And I'm going to use it because I wanted to showcase the fact that it is a newly added celebration set. All right, so the best way to work with this stamp set is with a Stamparatus. And it's just because what happens is that it doesn't, sometimes it's a photopolymer stamp set. And I find with photopolymer stamp sets, sometimes they don't stamp correctly. So I'm going to use this, and then this way at least I can go in and I can go and stamp it a couple times, right? So I just have a quarter piece of basic white, and I'm just going to go and put it on there. And I'm actually going to show you how I go and I set this up. So this is the base thing, and I'm going to cut, I'm going to cut this down afterwards. I think that's the best way of doing it. I think it's just, I want to show you how to do it, but also with it being a different size, I can then go and show you how to put it together and how to cut it afterwards. Now, it is a photopolymer stamp set, so you want to make sure that it is it's relaxed down on the particular cardstock. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to pick it up. I want to make sure it doesn't look that straight, so I'm just going to, whoops. Now, I do on my Stamparatus have my my mat underneath. That's really important that you know that. I want to make sure that that's pulled out and that it's straight on the bottom. There we go. And we're just going to pick this up. And like I say, I think it's important that you know how to put this together. So this particular, I'm going to use this designer series paper. And I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. I've got it where it's the darker one and the light one, and I'm not sure which one I'm actually going to use. So I'll wait till the end to see how it looks. So this is garden green that is in there. So I'm going to use some use some garden green on there. So like I say, I'm just going to go use my Stamparatus. And the beauty of this is you could stamp 2 or 3 of these. There's sometimes that you don't need certain parts of this. So I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to lay it down and come in with my my Chucky. Yeah, none of us knew that it was going to be something added to Celebration. But there's some other great things. There's the Essential Punch, and there's the Songbird Punch. So see how that is like that? That's why I want to have it on the Stamparatus. And we want it to be a really good green color. So let's just go in there and do that. Whoops. Shaking and moving and that's what I say. It's so important that we turn around and we know that that's good and dark. Now I'm going to use my chamois for this because I want to clean this off. Now with the Stamparatus, you know that you've got 4 surfaces to work with, right? Your Stamparatus comes with 2 of the plates. So I'm just going to actually turn this around, and we're going to put this part down here. Now the part that goes in there is this part here. Now honestly, this could go with not having it. It would work just fine without doing that particular one. But this is the stamp that goes in there. Now what you want to do is you always make sure that the level, the stamping surface is down facing the paper. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to just line this up like that. And I'm letting it come down a little bit. There's a spot there. There's all these grooves, and then that one over there. I'm just going to go pick that up. Make sure that's back in the corner there. And I think that'll be the best way to do that, is just to keep checking on it. Now, because this is also another color that is in this paper, I kind of let the paper do all the work for me. So it doesn't say that's there. In any event, I'm going to use the soft seafoam. I want it to be just a light color there. I don't want it to be too dark of a color. So let's just go and put that on there. Now, this is going to be hard to use the Chucky on this part because it is, but I'm going to kind of just press down on that part. You can barely even see that. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to stamp that again. This is kind of like a shadow. It's kind of, so that's why you would use a lighter color on this particular piece here. I'm going to do this a couple times so it shows up a little bit more. See how that you can just barely see it. I always like these kind of stamps where you can do a scene out of it. When I saw the catalog, I said, oh, I like that. And I know the other 2 that were with me were not too sure of that. That's for sure. All right. So we've got that put in there. Now, the next piece that we're going to go and put on there is this part here. So I am going to come and I could have my Stamparatus going down and up and everything else. I tend to like my Stamparatus to come, well, I'll put it up at the top part. I think it's kind of intended. So this is going to go down here. Now, this is really important that these line up side by side, but they also come down and stamp down in between those pieces there, or where the those trees are on that really, really light soft seafoam. So just pick that up and see it's quite sticky, because it's the photopolymer. Now, I debated what colors to use for this next one. It's kind of a grayed off area that it's at. To me, it's kind of like in the distance sort of thing. So I use soft succulent. So we'll see how this works on here. I'm just going to stamp this up. I'm hoping I've got that down far enough. I think I do. So I'm just going to come in and let's go and just put this on here. And if it's not quite in the right spot, what I can do is I can just move it down just a bit once it's there. Yeah, it just needs to come down just a bit. So I'm just going to bring it down just a bit more. And we'll come with that again, and we'll use the soft succulent again. Oops. Make sure that that's right in there. You know what? I'm going to turn it this way so that you can kind of see how I'm doing it. I'm kind of doing it sideways. That's just so that I can get it stamped. But see how that now is starting to look like. And to me, honestly, if anybody lives in the Kamloops area, this reminds me of certain areas that you can look from Sun Peaks or Ski Mountain down towards Shuswap Lake. That's what it looks like to me. All right, so then now I'm just switching this around and using this other part, and I'll show you what part this is this little part here. Now, these can be in further into, they could line up right here, or we could take them where they're up a little bit further. I'm wondering what I should do. That's on the original one. Let's just put it down to there. Now, this lines up it all even on the side, so that makes it a little bit easier in that aspect. Now, the color I was thinking of doing on here was garden green again. So let's go pick that up. And now I'm going to come and do it off to the side. And then let's just put it down like that. And see, that's just how it kind of looks. It gives that scenery sort of look. And you know what? I don't think I need that any darker. Now, the other part is this has got the padding on it. And in this stamp set, and we're using every one of these images, are these birds. And I wasn't sure, should I do the birds in garden green? Should I do them in, I then decided that maybe what I'll do is I'll just use the Memento ink. I probably could have used Evening Evergreen because it's quite dark, but I'm just going to go and we're going to just put these birds right there. Just like that. Oh, you place it over the, what I do is I always use this corner. It's something, it's what works for you, and you should always do the same thing all the time. When I make templates, I always use that corner. It's just easier for me to do it that way. Now I'm just going to move these out of the way. But now, like I say, I could turn around and I could use that. But see how that now looks like a great scenery. This kind of also reminds me of that, what was it called? I can't even remember what it was called. In any event, I'm going to come in, and now I've got my trimmer. So I'm going to come in, and I could have cut this already, but to me, it just makes more sense to cut this when we've got it, once it's been done. Now, originally what I thought I'd do is I would let there be about 1/8 of an inch all the way around, and we'll see how that looks. And I was actually going to do this with, let's see, the stitched rectangles. Okay, so we have that like that. And now what I can do is I can go and, oh, that's off by a little bit. So like I say, kind of winging this. So yeah, that'll work. And now I can come in and we can layer that with the garden green. So I've got a scrap piece of garden green. So let's see what my paper is. 3 3/16. So I'm going to do this 3 5/16 wide. By, let's see what the width is, or the length. It's 4 inches. So I'm going to do this by 4 1/8. I just want a tiny little bit of a border. And what did I say that was? 2, 3 3/16. Or I'm going to try this. I think that's the right one. There we go. Very, very thin little border around there. All right. So then, like I say, it could go onto this, or it could go onto this one. I'm not sure which one it would be the best on. Let's put it on this one because you can kind of see a little bit of it behind there. And then I have soft sea foam is the color that I decided to put this base on. So it's 5.5 by 8.5. Scored at 4 1/4, and let's just use our bone folder. So this can go on here like so. And these sentiments that are on here as well are awesome. So there's these. Lorraine, I knew you didn't like this stamp set when we were away. But, you know, I think it really works well with this. I did it in another color, and I'm going to show you it with this paper. So now what I could do is Love Knows No Boundaries. I could do Hello, just because. Press On, I really like that. But I think this is one of my favorite things in here, but it's just too big for this particular card. Is Difficult Roads Bring You to Beautiful Destinations. And is that not the most beautiful thing? Awesome. Okay, so I have a strip of, I've got a couple strips here of the garden green, and I thought it could go across. Let's see, do I want it there? Wouldn't be too bad there. Let me just double check to see which one's this. So I'm just going to use the Just Because. I'm kind of in those generic type stamps. Now remember, when this is a photopolymer, is to just let it relax on your paper and then just pick it up. So I'm going to come in with my garden green. We're going to try this with garden green to begin with. Oh, thank you. You wait till I show you the other color. I really like the other color. I think because this is garden green. Oh my goodness. Here, this has to be a smaller one. Let me see. I just have to kind of get this. Oops, that's not quite straight. It's hard to see it because it's white on white there. All right, so it could go just across there. It could go with a green border on there. You like the green. Okay, it could go like that. Or take a look at this. I was thinking that this would be good if I went and I did this in Versamark with white embossing. So let's see how that's going to turn out. Strip is not straight. There we go. And let's put that in the white embossing. And let's see how between the two of them, how it would look. I even played with this with Evening Evergreen Soft Succulent, but it didn't go with the Designer Series paper. And this paper really, truly is so pretty. So I'm just going to heat set this. little words to do the embossing. So I'm just going to come in with my shears. You like the greens, Lorraine? Yeah, you know me in green. I like green. I mean, that's silly because my house is green, my kitchen's green, my bathrooms are green, but not these yellow greens. I really like, this is kind of crooked, so I might have issues getting this straight. I know I will. You know what? I'm going to just leave it. All right, so does it look better with it like that or with this? I'm kind of thinking this one's better. Okay, Chaos, she says, is it written on the Stampin' Up cases that the stamps are layered? No. You know, you have a Misty, and I totally understand. Play with your Misty and make sure that you like it. The Stamparatus really is. You've got to understand, Stampin' Up was in the position that they had the advantage because when I think it, my Petunia, is that who did the Misty? When she did it to begin with, she was the first one. So everybody else can make it so that they can build on it, right? All right. So if I wanted to, I could kind of sponge that so it wasn't so white. At one point I was thinking of putting, oh, isn't that pretty? At one point I was even thinking of using Berry Vanilla, but I don't think that would have helped on there. Okay, so I'm using the darker one here. And then I'm coming in and I'm going to actually put this off to the side there. And you know what? I can pop that up just because it's kind of a flat card anyways. I'm going to use a few dimensionals on here, that's for sure. And remember to use all of your dimensionals. I could have used the strips on here. That would have been a good way to use the strips. It's a lot of dimensionals, right? So I'm not sure, but yeah, you don't know whether or not if it's a placement one, but you can usually tell by the samples that are in the catalog by just looking at the pictures, and that will tell you whether or not if how the stamp kind of goes together. Your catalog is like an idea thing, and it really helps when you look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh dear, such is life. Well, we need another dimensional on there. Yeah, I'm thinking the heat embossed one too as well. All right, so it goes like that. We're going to put this, we're just going to cut that off. I'm not going to try it. Whoops, oh shoot. No, I cut off a bit of it. All right, so I'm going to come in with my dimensionals on this. And you know what? I can use the strip on this particular one. Oh, okay. Well, that, you know, the thing is, like I say, a lot of people get the Stamparatus and they leave it. They don't use it. You need to use it. And I think that's why I'm trying to use it more and more so that it encourages people to dust it off because it is a fantastic tool. All right, so let's go just because there. There we go. Kind of crooked. All right, then we could go and we could put some embellishments on there as well. I really like these essential dots. but I don't know if they would really go. And then there's these solid faceted gems. Now these happen to be Mossy Meadow, and I think we can get away with using those on there. So you know what? I think I'm going to go like this. I'm going to do something a little bit different. Let's go here. Now that's crooked a bit. There. Now it'll kind of give a little bit different of a look. Definitely, oh, you know what would have looked really good on here too? Would have been some linen thread. Yeah, a linen thread would have looked really good on there because it would have added a little bit. Yeah. You know what? I think I can do that. I'm going to just add a bit of this linen thread just to, you know what? There's another way. I should show you how to do this too. And it's a friend of mine back east. So all they did was they tied a bow. You could tie a double bow. Let's tie a double bow with this. And it's not going to be as a bow on the card, but we're going to tie it as a double bow. Let's put this down. Pull these down. And then what you can do is on here, you just put that here and just put this on there. And that gives you the look of that linen thread behind. There. And that'll just, it just adds just a tiny little bit to it. And now I need to add another dimensional on there. Hold on just for a second here, because it definitely needs another dimensional on the back of this. Oh, thanks, Kathy. Yes, Sandy. Stamparatus is the bomb as far as I'm concerned. If people have problems getting stuff on, if they have, sorry, I have to get this on here. It's because it kind of de-stuck. Does that make sense? It really helps you get things straight. It's nice when you don't get enough ink on it. It's just one of those things that it's, yeah, it's great. Just get used to using it. So I've really played around with these dimensionals and I've de-stuck them. Do you like my new words? Oh my goodness. There we go. There. Now. This is a good day too. It's a much better day than yesterday. It's a great day. So remember, if you like this, give me the thumbs up. Remember to share my video. I really do appreciate that. And if you live in Canada and you're not working with a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. There we go. So let's just put this here. Okay, somebody said they didn't use the Stamparatus for about 6 months after you got it. Once you started using it, you use it all the time. Do you know, and the nicest thing is you go away, say if you go to some sort of a retreat or a place where you're just going to stamp for the day with a bunch of friends and you forget your stamp pads, you can use your Stamparatus. So there you go. There is, hello, Pat. So there it is using the Picturesque. Now, I just want to show you something else. I went and I used other colors. Now, I think, whoops, Starry Sky would be really, really nice. So I wanted to show you, and also you could use Orchid Oasis, Starry Sky, Highland Heather, because those are the colors that are in there. This would look quite nice with this as well, but just let me show you. Just wait, there's a piece in here that I want to show you that went with this other. Okay, this piece here I thought would be just gorgeous with, oh, I had it. Now, I do not have it layered at all, but it could go, and this is using Evening Evergreen. Look at that. So see how that has changed where it's a totally different thing. This is the look, that's Evening Evergreen, but look at it on there. Like, to me, it just goes hand in hand with this paper. And don't forget, this paper is the added designer series paper for Celebration. So it's beautiful paper. You could do so many things with the front and the back. So I plan on using it a few more times, but this one I thought was a really neat color combination as well. And what this was Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent. This was Pool Party. And then I used Soft Succulent again there. And Pool Party and Coastal Cabana are two colors that are set that are in this designer series paper as well. So awesome. All right. So let me just switch up here. So I hope you enjoyed that. That, like I say, is part of my Now What series. I knew that if I didn't show this, a lot of people would not really know what to do with it. So this really does help to see it kind of in motion. I really like this one a lot better, just because it's probably my colors, right? I am really pushing it. I'm pushing it for the garden green. Also, just to also let you know, there's been other things that are added. So take a look and see what's been added to the celebration, because there's some really nice stuff on there. Card sketch on Saturday. It will be pre-recorded. It will go on live at 10 o'clock Pacific time. Don't forget to enter in. I haven't done that draw yet. I've got to do the draw for the mystery and the sketch challenge, but don't forget on Saturday to do that. And I won't be here on Monday to do my live. I will be, but not until later in the afternoon. So I'll see you again live on Tuesday. But remember, I am doing the card sketch number 142. It's kind of a different sort of sketch. Well, it really isn't that different of a sketch, but in any event, you guys have a great evening, and we will talk to you soon. Bye for now.